Blah, blah, blah.
I agree with this guy. I'm excited to
No,
have a
God damn
vote.
it.
God damn, that's how the podcast can start. You know what I need today after my long day of doing nothing?
What do you need?
I need a drink. Let's go get a drink.
Let's go get a drink.
Welcome to episode 5 of the Shungoku Satsu podcast. Me, the guy who's watching
need a
this 10
drink.
years from now. Last weekend we watched Repo Man.
I miss my family.
Now, does anyone remember the movie?
I remember the movie.
Fuck no.
Well, we saw it twice.
All I remember is the ending because it was so profoundly spiritual.
The
to me
ending
while I
was
half
incredible.
asleep.
The ending is incredible, but we're jumping the
I had
gun on this one.
I had just moved all the way to Iowa. I was half asleep for the entire movie, and the only thing I can remember is the ending.
What's the best part to remember?
So
It is.
Repo.
The entire movie was like a fever dream.
And it really didn't feel like it was last week, honestly.
No, it feels like it was months ago, but also yesterday.
Yeah, right?
You know?
The other thing that I've really gotten out of it is that I now know all the lyrics to TV Party.
TV party
Party
tonight.
tonight. TV Party tonight.
We're gonna have a TV party tonight.
Alright.
We're gonna have a TV party tonight.
Alright. We've got nothing better to do. Okay. So, what did y'all do today? I know what Connor did. Connor and I went to go see Kiki's Delivery Service.
Which was
What
really
did you
good.
think? Let's talk about that movie instead now.
We'll do a mini
I'm
review for
on.
Kiki's Delivery Service. How'd you like it, Connor?
It's solid. If we rate on 5s, it was a solid 4 out of 5. I would easily watch the movie again. I'm not entirely sure that I understand the Ghibli hype, but I have come to realize that might just be because I wasn't really raised on those movies as a kid, so they didn't have a very profound effect on my childhood.
Did you watch the Japanese version or the English
one? Dub because it was
we watched. It was the English dub, but the ending I have been informed was the Japanese ending to the film.
What?
That's interesting.
Wait, what did you watch?
Yeah. So spoiler alert. You know how the cat doesn't speak at the end of the film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the American release of the film, he starts talking in the end.
Okay, so I guess I watched the same version you did.
Right. Now, there is a difference in the dub, but... Anyway.
Creative decision to make. I'm sure Gigi talks after the fact, but okay, that makes sense. I liked it. I've seen it.
But it was a really good film. Would highly recommend and would love to watch again. But we have to watch all the other Ghibli movies first.
I guess. What did you do today, Keaton?
I don't know.
You don't know? Did you wake up in an ice bath like an hour ago?
I guess so.
Is there scars around your kidneys?
I suppose.
Let me check. No.
Okay. So you just woke up in an ice bath for no reason.
Where am I?
What did you do, Spoid?
Mission okay. I woke up and then I was on my phone and then I mowed the lawn and then I came inside and I got some French toast sticks and then I played Risk of Rain with people and then people died and then
he means literally, by the way.
What happened?
This is like when you ask a kid to bring.
There's a blank period where I don't remember what I was doing.
It's like when you ask a kid to bring something for show and tell.
You
just explain
it.
Yeah, right.
Here's my pencil.
And then what
Here's
did
my backpack.
Here's my gas can.
You see, not too long ago, a kid got his entire school shut down.
I saw that.
Brought
the grenade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleeb, what did you do today?
Absolutely nothing. Actually, I take that back. I went for a really nice walk.
How good of a walk? Rated out of 5 out of 10 scale. 5-star scale. What the fuck? 5 out of 10.
I guess it's a 5 out of 10.
There we go. Middle of the road walk.
Hell yeah.
Yep, I walked right down the middle of the road.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, wait, I can't get that in community. I have to get that on. Oh, that's a stupid thing.
Don't you two love to walk down the middle of the road?
This whole episode will be recorded with Connor and Spoid playing Counter-Strike in the back.
Yes.
And I'm
Which
playing War
is-
Thunder.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one who's not playing a video game during the recording.
Keaton
Well, I
and,
asked if you wanted to come play Diablo 2 instead, but you went.
No,
I don't
I'm.
think
go-
I
I, well, first I've had to watch the audio and make sure everything's running right, but also
No, I'm just teasing.
So, and we also watched
Audio,
Keaton's
audio. This
brother
guy actually.
on like the actual watch night, but he could not be here because he didn't want to be. So
Because he's a Linux
He's
user,
a
and it probably would take him longer to
Yeah.
turn on the computer than it would for us to record the podcast.
how Linux users go to the store. Okay.
Takes me 20 minutes to put on my shoes.
Linux
Yeah.
users take 40 years to put on their shoes.
They have to
So
memorize like 30 different ways to tie their shoes.
okay, so let's see. Repo Man is a 1985. Oh, hold on. We forgot. We didn't read
What
the.
too?
We need to read the Vietnamese Repo Man.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, it's not as good as
Demolition Man.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. 1, 2, 3 movies.
Hey,
Well,
look, it's got a
Demolition Man was
virus.
still good. It was like who is a police Who is a police? Let's see. Young punk Otto becomes a repo man after helping to steal a car and stumbles into a world of wackiness as a result. Does he regret becoming a repo man, or will it be a hilarious adventure?
Did you just say world is wackiness?
Yes. Anyway, here's the real outline of the movie. Repo Man is a 1984 American science fiction black comedy film written and directed by Alex Cox in his directorial debut. It stars Harry Dan Stanton and Emilio Estevez, with Tracy Walter, Irvian Barash, Cy Richardson, Vanetta McGee, Fox Harris, and Dick Rude among the supporting cast. It's set in Los
did you say
Angeles.
Harry Dan Stanton?
Did I? I said Harry Dean Stanton, didn't I? I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm not sure you did.
Well, hold on. Let me fix it. The man's dead. I got to put my. I'm allowed to say Emilio Estevez's name wrong though,
Why?
because he's still alive.
Why?
Harry Dean Stanton.
Why?
Set in Los Angeles, the plot concerns a young punk rocker played by Emilio Estevez who is recruited by a car repossession agency and gets caught up in the pursuit of a mysterious Chevy Malibu that might be connected to extraterrestrials. A satire of America under the Reagan administration, consumerism, and the atomic age, Repo Man was developed by Cox in a partnership with a fellow film school graduates from UCLA, independent producers Jonathan Wax and Peter McCarthy. His inspiration for the film came from his own experiences working with repossession agent Mark Lewis. Originally conceiving it as a road movie, Cox reconfigured the story to take place mostly within Los Angeles to maintain its budget. What the hell? Michael Nesmith of The Monkees came on board of the project as an executive producer. He's the reason why this movie came out, because they got the negative pickup deal from Universal. Wow. Okay.
The Monkees?
Yeah,
My
from
favorite punk rock band?
my favorite punk rock band, The Monkees.
Of
That's
course, the sequel to the Arctic Monkeys.
no, the prequel to the Arctic Monkeys. This is before they
No, no.
moved.
The sequel to the Arctic Monkeys, because then the ice caps melted.
Nope.
Ah.
Everything froze. They moved to the Arctic.
Oh shit.
Anyway,
Nuclear winter.
Anyway.
so Repo Man.
What a film.
Okay. So
One of the movies of all time.
Repo Man begins with this really good opening credits sequence where a bunch of hardcore punk gets played over just maps of LA. It's Iggy Pop, isn't it? Or is it? It's an Iggy
I
Pop.
think it's Iggy Pop.
And then it zooms in on a specific spot where there's a car going down the road, and a police officer pulls over this Chevy Malibu. This is it tan, or is it like more like brown? What do you think?
It's kind of
Sort
a
of tan.
beige.
Like a beige tan. Yeah. It's a Chevy Malibu going down the middle of the highway, and this police officer pulls it over, and he's asking for his like license registration. The guy behind the wheel really isn't giving a shit about anything that's happening, and he goes, "I'm gonna look into your trunk real quick," and then he goes over to the trunk, and he pulls open the fucking thing, and then what happens is the image that's currently in the background He gets completely eviscerated by the whatever the hell is in the trunk, and then the guy driving the car just disappears.
Eviscerated isn't even the right term. It's
Uh,
evaporated.
Evaporated.
As he
Yeah,
gets
that's way more close to what
reduced
actually happens.
beyond atoms.
Yeah, reduced.
Except for his boots.
So there's boots
Those
because
can
they weren't.
stay.
These
And
boots can
they
stay.
specifically reference slightly later in the film that his penis is still there too.
Yes, that's true. So he gets obliterated by this Chevy Malibu trunk, whatever's in the trunk. And we do an immediate hard cut to our protagonist Otto, played by Emilio Estevez, sitting in his grocery store job with the most annoying character in the entire film, Kevin. We found out later that Kevin
No.
was played by
It'll get there.
Kevin was played by the bassist for the Circle Jerks, which is really funny.
Oh, never mind.
What?
I thought you were making a very different point.
No.
I thought you were spoiling the movie already.
No. So Otto and Kevin are working at the store, and Otto gets approached by his manager and the security guard, who is armed he's armed with a full-on fucking pistol, and he shows up later, but we'll talk about that. The security guard and the manager show up and go, "You haven't been meeting your quota, Otto," and he just throws them through a bunch of cans and quits. And in the grocery store, literally everything is marked as what they are, right? So
yeah, it's the generic brand.
It's a generic brand, so it says drink or beer or potato chips or cereal, right?
I love me some drink.
Or food. There's a can in the movie that just says food, which is hilarious. And I found out later on from my dad that this is a real thing that happened during the 80s, where there's at least the beer thing was real, where there was a brand that you could get that would just said beer on it. Which is hilarious.
White background.
Black text. Black text. Beer. So Otto is now out of a job, so he decides to do the only thing that there can be to do, and he goes and has a party. So he's going partying. He meets up with all of his TV party tonight. He goes and meets up with all his punk rocker friends. They do a big what the hell is the dance that they're doing at the first
slam dance?
They're slam dancing, that's right. And they end up going inside the guy's house, and he's like, "All right, I've got a girlfriend, whatever." He's about to have sex with her, and she goes, "Can you go get me a beer?" And in the 5 seconds that it takes her to get downstairs and get a beer, she's already been plowed by another man. Just out of nowhere.
A bald one at that.
Bald. So Otto is completely out of luck. He's got no job. He's got no girlfriend. He's got no beer.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, right. So he's walking down the street because he doesn't have anything to do.
And sucks.
Harry Dean Stanton, his character Bud, pulls up to him in a car, and he goes, "Hey, I got a job for you. I mean, you want to make some money?" And the guy, he goes, "Hey kid, you want to make some money?" And the first thing that Otto says to him is "fuck you, queer." He goes, "Nah."
He did pull up like he was asking for a sexual favor, though.
Well, yeah, and he's like, "Nah, you don't get it." And he goes, "I gotta get my car. What is it? My old lady's
woman's car, my wife's car. She's going to the hospital. She's so pregnant."
Yeah, my old lady, she's pregnant. I gotta get her car out of this bad area. It's like, why don't you drive her? It's like, well, no, I gotta get her car out of here. Can you do that? And then Otto is ostensibly working under the idea that he has to just get this car out of the area, and so Harry Dean Stanton's Bud, he throws him the set of keys, and then the best part about this whole scene is that he keeps referring to it as a bad area, if it's like a trademarked title.
Right.
Like the bad area. So he throws him the keys, and Otto gets in the car, and he's obviously repossessing a car, and Bud is a repo agent, and as he gets out there, this guy runs at him screaming entirely in Spanish, trying to get him out of the car, and he drags him down the street, and he drives away, and he pulls him into the repo lot.
He's trying to get the car out of there.
He's just trying to he's got to get the car out of the bad area. His old lady, she's sick. She's pregnant. She can't. She could go into labor any moment.
He's not gonna let him down. Be the bad thing to do.
be the bad thing to do. So he takes the car back to the repo lot, and Otto goes, "What the hell? So I just got paid like what was it, $25 for stealing a car." And then he discovers, oh yeah, you guys are all repo men, aren't you? And they go, yeah, and they hand him a beer, and he immediately just pours it on the floor.
Guess you're all fucking assholes.
Yeah, he goes, oh my god. And then they go, normally we would beat the hell out of you, but you're all right.
You're all right.
Yeah, like there's like 7 people in the building, and they all say it in sync with each other. So Otto gets this. What is it? Otto goes home after getting the $25 for stealing the car, and there's this running telethon by like a televangelist for the whole movie, where there's just this guy talking about how America has one job. What is it? It's the Lord gave me a job to do, and it was to rid the world of the 2 evils of what is it? Godless liberalism and
Communism.
And I need your money to do it. So Otto goes home.
That was embarrassing.
Talk to be us, boy.
Otto goes home, and what is it? So Otto goes home, and he talks to his parents, and he goes, "You remember how you told me that if I finished college, you'd give me the money to travel to Europe, like a couple $1,000s?" And Otto's dad goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "Well, I think I'm gonna go back to college, but could I get that money like right now, right?" And Otto's dad goes, "Well, we'd love to, son, but we already gave it all to the pastor for his telethon." Like what? Well, we're sending like Bibles to El Salvador.
Like, I don't want your fucking Bible.
So Otto is out of money. But he knows that this job exists. So he goes over to the repo agency and he goes, "I'd like to start driving with you." So the next few scenes are Harry Dean
No,
Stanton.
it kind of just like cuts to him in
Yeah,
the car.
it cuts
with
to
Bud,
him in the
which is
car.
quite a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
funnier.
Yeah, and Bud is explaining to him that what is it?
The almost through.
What the
Yeah.
repo man is the opposite of of normal people. Normal people spend their entire life trying to get out of danger, and the repo man lives for danger.
Getting
Right.
into dangerous situations.
Yeah. And well, this is where like one of the best lines comes from. And he goes like, "Well, how do you stay awake during all this?" And it's like, "Well, no, it's like you got to know the guy that you're trying to repossess from. You got if he gets up at 4, you got to get up at 3." And he goes, "That sounds like a lot of sleepless nights." And he goes, "It is. That's why there's not a single repo man alive that isn't into speed." And then the next shot is them doing speed in the car.
And it's phenomenal too, because one of them is very clearly a child.
Well, yeah, like Otto is Otto's apparently 21, but you find out later that he's actually 18. And it's
That's what
just
his ID says.
yeah, and it's just Bud is like just doing straight lines. He does like 2 of them, and Otto only does
Yes.
1. And he's just the moment after doing this line, he looks up from the car and goes, "Look at that, normal people. I hate them. They don't do speed like we do.
We're above those people.
We're above those people because we do speed in the car and steal other people's cars." So, oh, by the way, there are multiple times during this movie where the Chevy Malibu that has the person obliterator in it just appears off in the background. It's like rolling down the street, and as the movie goes on, it makes louder and louder noises that just sound like somebody sitting there like in front of a microphone just going. I guess that's supposed to indicate that it has the person obliterator inside of it, but so you don't even see like the first job in the movie, do you? It's like the first thing that he ever does immediately after that first ride along with Bud is that they're driving through like this it's a drainage ditch in LA, and then out of nowhere, yeah, they jump out of a fucking like pipe, like a sewage pipe into or a drainage pipe into the middle of the ditch for no reason. It's like, why would you even be there? Driving a car
For fun.
through a drainage pipe, I guess. And for some reason, also down there are these the Ramirez brothers?
I think so.
Ramirez.
It's Napoleon and
Dynamite, of course.
Rodriguez,
Yeah.
that's it. It's Lagarto and Napoleon Rodriguez. And
protect the
yeah,
bird
there's
town.
these two Chicano guys that apparently are in charge, are like responsible for like 40 car thefts. So like
Do
at
they
least
have a bunch
cars
of
that they
VHSs in the back of their car?
yeah, they steal a lot of cars to get all the VHSs, and then I think, and then the moment that they run into
That's
each
an
other,
inside
and
joke.
it's full on. It's just completely on site every time they see the Ramirez or the Rodriguez brothers too. Like Bud sees them and then just immediately starts trying to
just
run
sees
them off
red.
the road. Yeah, right. There is a scene later on in the movie where Otto gets the shit kicked out of him, and they go, tell us who did this, right? And then they don't even go and find the guy who did it after he tells them. They just go beat up the Rodriguez brothers. Like fully on site, which is hilarious. Who even beats up Otto?
It's
Oh,
he tries to steal from those
the
black
government.
people.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
And then I thought he sent them to Kevin's house and they beat the hell out of him.
Did they
And then
beat
they
up
go beat
Kevin?
up the
Yeah.
they go to his house. And that's why he's in the hospital later in the
I
movie.
don't remember them
Yeah.
ever beating the shit out of Kevin.
Fuck you, Kevin.
I think we assumed it was like his dad or something.
That's what I
but
thought. I thought you could see him in the background.
I thought it was his dad too, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was Kevin.
I'm using context clues here.
Kevin
Right.
Kevin just kind of shows up like all the time, and it's hilarious whatever he does. Because he gets like 7 jobs through the plot of the movie, and none of them work out for him.
Hey, at least he's trying.
He's trying, and he's not
There's
trying
room
That's
to
as
what's
move
most
as a fry
unfortunate.
cook, man.
there is room to move as a fry cook. 2 years, you can be a middle manager.
Next to your god.
Well, like Kevin's trying, but apparently he's not trying as hard as Otto is, because Otto gets his job like nearly instantly.
Well, that's because they liked him, if you remember.
Yeah. Well, what is it? It's like one of the best lines in the movie is that for the first ride along, Otto is dressed up like a regular punk rocker, and then Bud tells him, "Nah, you want to dress like a detective. Dress kind of squarish, because they think you're carrying a gun on you if you do." And the next scene, Otto is wearing a dress shirt and a tie. Anyway. What am I trying to say? What am I got? I'm losing my mind. You ever feel like your
Having dead
brain is
air.
just disintegrating?
Yeah.
I'm sure one guy in the movie
You ever
does.
feel your mind start to erode?
That's what it is. Mine
Ever
start
been
to
to
erode.
Utah?
You ever been to Utah? Anyway, so Bud runs into the Rodriguez brothers while they're driving down a drainage ditch, and there's a line where Bud just goes, "You know what I want to do one of these days?" He goes, "Like what?" It's like take it down down this one of these roads going 120 per. And he goes, "Why don't you do it right now?" He goes, "I don't know." But they run into the Rodriguez brothers, and they have no reason to try and repossess the car from them. They just start trying to run
Nice
each
one.
other off the road. Like on site. They don't even talk. Just straight up on site.
Yeah, no, at this point they've established the car is within their rights.
But like they're not trying, like they're just running into it. You can't repossess the car by just slamming into it over and over.
No.
Because Bud even introduces this like whole like chivalry code that the repo man should never try to harm the car while repossessing it. This is just Bud being an asshole.
Well,
Bud's had it. He's done.
He's just
that's what
gonna.
makes Bud such a good character. Is he immediately is willing to go back on his ethical code because someone minorly pissed him off.
Well, he's
one
not
time.
Yes.
repossing the car. He's just
I
trying to
guess if
kill
he's
him.
destroying it, then yeah, he doesn't have to repossess shit, does he?
He's just trying to fucking kill him.
I didn't even hit him.
No, the on-site relationship between the Rodriguez brothers and Bud is like one of the funniest parts of this movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after they fail to just beat up the Rodriguez brothers, I don't know why they're going for it anyway. There's the greatest line in the movie, which is "Let's go get a drink," and then it cuts to them at a convenience store getting a drink. It's literally named Drink. You can see it. It's Keaton's thing. Um, and what happens after that is, well, first off, they buy drinks from the store, and then it's Otto's friends who are robbing the counter in the background of it. And that's our third group. That's our third group. We had the repo men, who are what? It's Bud, Otto, Miller. What's the other?
Light.
Light, and then
They're
there's
all
the
beer
cop.
names, which
There's
is
the
pretty funny.
Oh my god, they are.
Oh, they are
Yeah.
all beer.
Oh my god!
That's
I didn't
genius.
ever think of, because Bud Light, Miller High Life, or just Miller
And
in
yet,
general.
instead of drinking their respective beers,
just
they
drink
just
beer.
go for the generic brand.
Yeah, well, who else is there? There's Light for Bud Light. Well, then there's Art. Yeah, Pletchner. And then there's Rogers. Hold on, who else is it? It's because there's Leela. Well, there's Leela too. Yeah, but there's a lot. Yeah, oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Because there's the cop that works at the station, and who's the guy that's in charge of the whole like thing? Do you remember what his name is?
I forgot, but he's the one who has the shirt that just says beer on it.
Yeah. I can't even remember, dude.
Wait, stop pushing.
I wasn't pushing. I was literally just standing there. No one covered me. Bad team.
Anyway, so, So yeah, there's like three groups of people. There's Otto's friends who are all armed like petty criminals that go and they just rob stores, and they rob a bunch of different locations multiple times during the plot of the movie. There's the government agents who are going after the Chevy Malibu. Plus, then there's the Rodriguez brothers who are also going after the Chevy Malibu, and then there's the Reefer Men. So, and then there's also UFO who are in control of what are they? The United Fruitcake.
United Fruitcake Outlet.
Yeah, Unified. Is that quite what it is? It's yeah, United Fruitcake Outlet, which is obviously UFO. They're like UFO alien researchers. So after they go get their drink, what happens after they go get the drink? I think this is when he runs into what's her face at the UFO.
Yeah, he steals that car from the laundromat, which is kind of funny. And
Yeah,
then
he steals a
runs
rich guy's
into,
car from the laundromat.
What's her face?
And then he runs into Leela. So
Leela.
he runs into this girl named Leela, who's walking down the road, and he goes, "Hey, do you want to ride?" Because he's being sexist piece of shit. He's like, "Hey, you want to have sex with me in this car?" And she's like talking to him. She's like, "Do you know what we're about to put on the every major news outlet on the world right now?" It's like, "What?" It's like, "In 3 days. You see what these are?" And I was like, "What's that?" I was like, "What are they, sausages?" I go, "No, those are alien dead bodies." It's like, "Oh, really? What are you gonna do with them? We can put them on Letterman?" Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But they're gonna
with complete sincerity.
But they're gonna try and kill me. See those government agents over there? They're gonna try and kill me. So you gotta protect me. It's like, oh, okay. And he's like, "Can you drop me off at my workplace?" And he's like, "Okay, fine." And he takes her over to United Fruitcake Outlet, which is obviously a front for whatever UFO research company they are. And he goes, "Well, can't you reward me a little?" And she goes, like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Come on, like, the car's right here." And she's like, "Okay." And then they have sex in the back of the car. Just
Because that's what heroes do.
Because that's what heroes do, apparently. And so Otto now has a quote-unquote girlfriend, which doesn't even go anywhere.
At no point are they going steady either.
No,
is
I
the
mean,
real highlight.
literally. I mean, the final line of the movie is literally him telling her to fuck off.
Yeah.
It's like, what about our relationship, Otto? Fuck that. I gotta go get in this
you in the
car.
back of the car. I tried fucking you at your work, and you said no. Like, I don't know you, girl.
Girl.
I don't even know you. Don't come to my house anymore.
Don't come to my
We're
house.
done.
We're done.
It's over.
You won't give me
You're not
a
invited to my house
blowjob at
anymore.
work?
You won't stop what you're doing at work to give me a blowjob?
We're done.
In front of your coworkers? And people actively seeking to do business with you?
And the
So-
funny-looking alien statue.
How
in the room?
evil could
Yeah,
you
the
be?
weird alien
Okay,
statue.
no. The alien statue stays in the room during sex.
It's required.
Gleeborb watches.
Gleeglu.
Gleeglu.
Put him in the cuck chair. That's what he likes. And that is our
Gleeborb,
podcast
can you just,
title:
like,
is
turn around a
Gleeborb
little?
Watches.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Gleeborb Watches.
Vice Void.
Um,
I was gonna say
Alright.
they're all around that angle.
So he meets up with this Leela girl, and then I think immediately after that, she cuts to like a bunch of government agencies outside of like where the guy in the car got obliterated, right, by the Chevy Malibu and whatever the hell's inside it, the Biden blast, and
Biden blast.
Biden blast.
Hmm.
So they're going through and it's like, what happened? It's like, oh, spontaneous combustion happens every day. Like, no, okay, but all right, and they leave. And there's a good joke of like every single time that there's like a person in like a hazmat suit like checking out like an alien crime scene, they're always narrating what they're doing, and it's very like over the top and stupid on what they're saying. It's like, I am now picking up the charred human remains. They feel very squishy. So I can't remember what happens after she goes to the UFO.
I think like they're like, I am fucking my wife.
That's
Still
right.
doing it.
So-
I
Still
think he
doing
goes
it.
on a.
That's
He
that.
goes
That's
on
what it
a,
is.
Job with light.
He goes on a job with light, but
and,
more importantly, the Chevy Malibu is now. Everybody knows that the Chevy Malibu is worth something. It's like what, like $20,000.
It's 20,000.
But then the
$20,000.
best part is it literally changes hands so many times.
It changes.
in the movie.
Yeah, it changes hands a ton of times. Because the first time Bud is like, after the Chevy Malibu gets put out for $20,000, Bud goes over to the Rodriguez's brothers' houses and then harasses them until they agree to work with him in order to get the Chevy Malibu. It's like $20,000, and they're like,
Come on, you know you want
you
it.
know you want it. Well, I got Repo Man's got all night. Yeah, because he's on speed. Like, So yeah, he just sits there and he yells at him like, "Come on, $20,000, pretty good deal." And he tries to get them to work with him. When they don't tell him to fuck off, he just stands and yells at them, presumably all night. So that means now it cuts to Light and Otto out on a job. I can't remember what's the first job, because the second job is when they start getting him shot at. What do they need to get? I can't
The
remember.
first job, they break through the window and then hotwire the car outside of like a factory or something.
Yeah, that's right. They get
Then Light talks to him about Scientology.
Yeah, Light talks to him about Scientology, and they destroy any of the property that's inside the car, right? Because it's, I don't know, they don't legally have to deal with it. So after Light is talking with them talks with Otto about Scientology and how that book's about how diuretics is going to save your life. That's right. So they hotwire the car and steal it, and they start throwing out a bunch of packages that are inside, like they're gift wrapped, and they're just like bands of money, like hundreds
it's just
of
a fuck ton
thousands
of
of
money.
dollars. And they're like, "Huh, okay."
They're very smart, by the way.
So they're destroying the
It's
stuff
not the fuck.
after Light tells them to read diuretics, or diuretics is not the right word. What is the fucking Scientology book?
Alright, no idea.
Dialectics?
Die Hard heretics.
What is it
My heart
called?
erection.
Typing in Scientology books gives me the beginning phases of books. Because I forgot that Scientology believes in tears.
Yeah, you gotta get higher up there, man.
But bibliography of Scientology. What is the book called?
It's just Dianetics. The modern
Dianetics?
science of mental health.
There we go. Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, Light tells him, like, dude, you gotta read this book. And then the next shot is Bud, or Otto and Miller sitting next to each other, burning a bunch of stuff that they repossessed. And he just throws in his copy of Dianetics because he's like, this is bullshit. And this is where we get, like, the scene where Miller's like, think about it.
Nice, Void.
People
Awesome.
came from somewhere, right? So where did they come from? There was a time where there were no people, right? Yeah. Okay, so where did they come from? the future. Okay, right? Because there's people in the
Right.
future, which means that for the people to be there in the past, the people have to come from the future. And how did they get there? In a flying saucer, which is actually a
Time machine.
there you go, a time machine. And then I do all my best thinking while I'm on the bus. That's why I don't drive a car, because the more you drive, the less intelligent you are. Which is true. I immediately
whole universal consciousness thing.
Yeah, he talks about the plate of shrimp, which pays off later on in the movie when they go to a gas station. There's a ad for a $9 plate of shrimp.
I think it also appears at the party scene.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, the more you drive, the less intelligent you are. That line popped up in my head the moment I tried to get out into. I was trying to cross an intersection, and I realized that right as I went across, that the line wasn't moving ahead of me, so I just sat in the middle and blocked traffic.
Nice, Spoid.
The more you drive, the less intelligent you become.
Thank you. I have perfect reaction time.
So I was serious
Wait,
about
can you
that.
buy me an op?
The podcast episode will be titled "Gleeglu Likes to Watch."
It's so fucked up.
Did I say that tonight's episode is episode 5? Because it's not.
I think so.
The
Is
image
it?
says 5,
Yeah, you said
and it's
episode 5.
6. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure we're on
well.
it. Are we on
You better
episode
fix
6?
it.
Anyway, so after they people like to
Consummate their
watch.
love.
So what? So with Gleeglu, so they're burning all this shit. What happens after that thing? There's
Bull fucking off.
That's right. So the Malibu starts showing up in downtown. Yeah. So the Malibu shows up in downtown LA, and he pulls into a gas station, and Kevin's there, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Kevin. You wanna vacuum?" And the guy driving him just stares at him and leaves.
He's like limping away from the car.
Yeah, he's limping out. He's covered in sweat or whatever he's in there. He looks like he's
He's like limping out, and then he just vomits in the corner.
Yeah, he vomits in the corner, and the Rodriguez brothers pull up and just steal the car. Well, Kevin is like getting the greatest line is he goes, "Hey, you remember me from yesterday? I think I left a matchbook in your office." It's like, "Oh, I'll go get. Oh, sure,
sure thing, babes."
Yeah, I'll go get it, and then he doesn't.
That was badass, though.
Well, no, there actually is a matchbook, but first off, why would you go get a matchbook?
Right. Why would you hold on to someone else's matchbook?
It comes back, car's been stolen. Parnell, the guy who's driving the Chevy Malibu, has no idea what's going on. He's still vomiting over up in the corner, and the Rodriguez brothers start driving it around. They pull into a restaurant to go get a bunch of sodas because it's fucking hot inside the car because the aliens are decomposing in the back and it's making everything like melt. So while they're trying to get their sodas, Otto's friends, the petty thieves, rock up with a bunch of guns and they just steal the car from right underneath them and drive away. And there's a good shot of the Rodriguez brothers just kind of staring as it like tears down the street and like, oh, okay, here's your soda, dude. Which is a good joke. And what? So after Otto's friends steal the car, what is it? Lila gets kidnapped. Yeah, Lila gets kidnapped by the goons, the guys who are looking for the Chevy Malibu from the government. And she calls Otto to come to this restaurant where the lady with the metal hand who's in charge of the company, the alien researchers, I guess, I don't know. Not UFO, but the government guys. They're having this little meeting. Because there's this really good line where it's like, what would you do to get information out of anyone? Because I'd torture people. It was Lila saying that. And then later on in the movie, Otto gets captured by them, and she just immediately starts torturing him.
I love torture.
Yeah, she's not a good person.
But she's hot, so it's okay.
Real words.
What, Keaton?
The best part of this scene, though, is that like the circle jerks are performing on the stage,
Yeah,
and they're just playing like the worst music you've ever heard.
The circle
in your
jerks are
life.
playing the worst music you ever heard in your entire life, and playing so the worst music you heard in your entire life. And then Otto's friends show up, and they're just like sad, drunk, crying on him, and then they leave. And when they leave, is it after the job where they rob the pharmacy that they run into UFO Man, or because they
That's
rob?
when they steal the car.
That's when they steal the car. That's right, because they steal the car after robbing a pharmacy because they need a way out, and they steal the car. And while they're running away, they all go na 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 na, which
And the
is
one guy goes out and like
shakes
shakes
the
the
homeless
hand of
man
some
with his
homeless
hand.
guy.
Like gives him a salute and then runs away again. Is it Archie? Archie is like the dumb guy with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
Except that he's also a violent criminal.
Yeah, if you look past the violent criminal
That's
history,
right. He's got a heart.
He's honestly just a great guy.
he's actually
He's
quite
honestly just a great guy.
Society made him what he is.
No, society made the other guy. What's the other guy's name?
Duke or something?
He was the
Has
bald
okay.
guy.
Duke, and what's her face, who doesn't appear ever again.
Fuck, what is
Mocha.
her name?
That's not her name.
Doesn't matter.
Is it Debbie?
Always.
Debbie? That sounds right. Yeah, Debbie.
Anyway, they go. The punks show up at Otto's meeting with the government agents and Layla, and they go, "Oh man, hey Otto, how's it going?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, how's it going?" And they leave, and then while they're there, the guy who's driving the Chevy Malibu shows up, and he goes, "Is this my car?" And they go, "I don't know, not anymore because we stole it from you." He goes, "Well, it looks a lot like my car," and you're like, "Well," and he goads them into opening the trunk of the car. And Duke decides to go open the car, and he burns his hands like really, really fucking bad during it. And he goes, "No," and then he goes, "Well, I told you not to open the car." And Archie goes, "You know what? I'm in charge of the gang now." Like, "No, you're not, Archie." And he goes, "Well, watch this." And he walks over to the trunk. He goes, "I'm King Archie. Watch this." And he opens the trunk all the way and immediately gets eviscerated.
Explode
And, like,
He was sick as hell. King Archie was so cool.
That was one hell
Yeah.
of a power move. Just watch this, and then it obliterates himself. Watch
How many
this.
people
That was
did-
the best part.
I do gotta ask, how many people died of obliteration in this?
Two?
Only like two.
Two, yeah, that I can
Not
think
very
of.
many.
But there's the guy that gets set on fire at the end, but that's not obliteration.
No, that's
Archie
just
gets
by proxy.
obliterated.
How
Being
many
next
people
to
die
you.
via the car? How many people die via the car?
At
Only
least
two
4
are shown.
or 3.
But there's like some dead bodies off
No.
screen, but they weren't like
Yeah.
exploded.
The car kills the guy who's driving it, Parnell.
Right.
It kills.
Or is it the fact that he's been awake for so long that kills him? Because I think realistically
something
he
he
was
dies.
dead anyway.
I mean, he
The guy
dies
never
while driving
slept.
the car. Did he die
It
of
was
the
his
car? Or did he
lobotomy
die
that
with
caught
the
up to
car?
him.
He died with the car, but he literally just wasn't sleeping the entire film.
You get.
Call me
killed, that's
skeptical,
sad,
but
right?
I wonder if his lobotomy had something to do with it, and all the radiation.
No, lobotomies
And
are
all
good
the
for
radiation.
you, and everyone can stand to get 100 chest X-rays a year, and they should
Yes.
honestly.
Hey, you
well-
never know, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I think
My
the
bad.
joke for this episode is that we're just gonna title it as episode 5, and then see if anybody notices. We're gonna have 2 episode 5s, and the next episode is gonna be episode 8. Episode 7.
We can
will
just
not exist.
overwrite the
We're
last
skipping-
one.
We're skipping 7.
I think. Oh no, we can. We'll do the episode 10 special 7 Samurai for the 7th episode.
Spoid, it's B, by the way.
I knew that.
Anyway,
got
so now the Chevy
Yeah, you're
Malibu
bummed.
back
I
in
got
the
the bomb.
hands of Parnell, the original guy, and he's driving it around again. And what is it? Otto goes to a party and he can't find Bud anywhere because Bud has decided to just strike it out on his own.
Spoid, you had bomb. Why did you rotate T?
And
Don't worry about it.
Bud
okay.
decided to strike it out on his own. He can't find Bud. He goes to a party. He figures out what's happened. Well, actually, no. Wait, we forgot a big
No, that's
thing.
later.
That's later.
I'm the best.
Otto is trying to get a car from an old lady, and he's like, "Hi, I mean, I would like to, whatever." and then all of her sons and like her son and his friends show up, and it's this big group of muscle. It's a moped gang.
Scary black men.
It's a bunch of black guys from like a jazz band, also on a moped gang. They show up at the house, and he's like, "I'm gonna leave," and then he makes the stupidest decision to try and steal the car while they're still there. And the wheel, it's up on a jack, and they took the tires off, so he can't get anywhere. And he gets dragged out of the car, and they beat the shit out of him. So he gets back to the repo lot, and they go, "Hey man, who did this to you?" And you're like, "Nobody." And he goes, "No, no, no, no. You tell us when something happens to you." And they go out. I'm also a little off because we haven't talked about his first run for Light also when he gets out the gun.
Yeah,
it's true. And one of the
it's kind of
sickest
just a self-contained incident.
Yeah, they
but
steal
it
a
is
car.
awesome.
Otto goes to Light to steal a car, and the guy starts shooting at Otto while he turns the car on, and Otto's trying to get the hell out of there. It's like, Light, open the door! And Light just climbs out of the car, takes out a gun, and just starts standing there in the middle of the road and just dumping rounds into the house. He goes, "Oh my god, what the fuck are you doing?" And the guy stops shooting, and they steal the car and get out of there. And Otto's like, "Oh my god, what if you hit that guy? Like, that would have been bad." It's like, no. And he watches this, and he takes out his gun, and he shoots at Otto in the leg, and he doesn't do anything. He's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And he goes, "Blanks get the job done as much as bullets do." All right.
Which is funny because a blanket that close a distance would still
it would fuck
hurt.
up. It would fuck up Otto. But what he's saying is, like, it's to indicate.
Yeah. It's just I just always find that concept of it's blanks. I would have gotten hurt in Russian roulette. It's like that's still an explosion right next to your temple.
Well, I like in Until Dawn, where there's like the thing where it's like, oh, it's a gun that's armed with blanks, and you shoot at like somebody who's like directly across the table at you, and it doesn't like that would like cave in their fucking face. Like that's a broken nose at least.
Nope, it's a blank. It cannot do any harm.
Blanks
whatsoever.
can't do anything.
I mean, I remember what
party
happened to
popper.
Brandon Lee. I don't know about you guys, but nice.
I do.
Well, Brandon Lee was not like. What happened is there was like flakes of metal inside the barrel that.
Yeah,
came
but
out.
still, it was supposed to be a blank. Like shit happens.
Shit happens. Like.
Wait,
I wonder if Lee.
No.
I can't
Lee
believe
was
Brandon's
son.
dead.
Brandon's
No.
dead.
After Brandon Lee.
No. You can't. No.
Brandon's dead.
Oh, I never got to go to another ramen shop with him, man.
I got my
Believe he's
rematch.
dead. Fuck.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
I'm gonna
so
take
we go to that
and
whole
use
scene.
that.
So after he goes back to the repo place, after he gets the shit kicked out of him, in a different time, they go, no, we're gonna figure out who it is, and apparently, I guess he beats up Kevin. And then they run into the Rodriguez brothers, and it's just immediately on site while the Chevy Malibu is there. Right? Both of them are looking for the Chevy Malibu, and instead of trying to get it from the guy, they just start kicking the shit out of each other.
Yes.
Bud has his
If you
priorities.
say your mortal enemy and then you saw 10K, you'd want to make sure your mortal
20K,
enemy doesn't.
20K.
20K.
Sorry. You want to make sure that your mortal enemy doesn't have any means to get it.
Yeah.
No, that's even the better part. They don't even notice that the Chevy Malibu is there. They just look at each other and immediate on site, just starting to kick
It's
the
not sending a
shit.
message then.
They run each other off into a parking garage and start fighting with baseball bats.
How did he kill me? I was standing in the open.
Bat.
So, Otto, what is it? So, yeah. So after this scene, something happens where Bud gets into an argument with the guy that's in charge of the repossession agency, and he goes, you know what? Fuck you, I'm leaving, and he gets fired.
Yeah, it's because he was so he hit the Rodriguez brothers with their car.
That's
and
right.
then they were like, "Oh, you broke my neck and shit," and then we're like
Yeah.
going to sue him and shit.
Yeah, exactly right. They make a fake suit. And it's like, we can't afford to pay. It's like the Rodriguez brothers, whatever. And he gets angry at him, and they lie, and like they kick.
You're taking
Bud
their
out.
side over mine. What the hell?
Yeah, and they kick Bud out of the agency. And he goes, "You know what? Fuck it, I quit." So afterward, Otto goes off to the party trying to find Bud.
Hell yeah.
Like the agency's holding a party. He tries to find Bud there. He finds out that Bud quit, and he starts like wandering aimlessly because he doesn't like to work with anybody else but Bud and maybe Light. And he runs into Chevy Malibu, and he runs like 100 meters and then vomits. He must be all the speed catching up to him. I don't know, but like
And the beer.
and speed in the beer and the drink.
And canned food, labeled food.
Can't forget about the
drink.
Shut up. So he goes to go find Bud. He can't find him. Whatever. He goes and walks around aimlessly. There's a bunch of dead bodies in the middle of the street for no reason. And the hazmat guys are working on it. And he runs into the guys driving a Chevy Malibu, and he goes, there's the line where it's like, "Do you ever feel like your mind's starting to erode?
No.
Ever been to Utah?"
No.
And then there's the classic, lobotomies really aren't all that bad for you. My buddy got a lobotomy, and he's perfectly fine right now. And he has this very strange and tense conversation with the guy that's driving the Chevy Malibu, and then he just fucking dies at the wheel. So Otto just gets the car. Otto gets the car.
Dumps the body on like a bench.
Dumps the body on a bench and then just disappears. And I can't remember what happens to the car.
He takes it to the lot, and then he I don't remember what he does after he takes it to the lot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So he's driving around. Yeah, he takes the car back to the lot, and then tries to go and find Bud because they're planning to split the money. And Bud just sits there and is like, "What's their line?" It's like, "Are you mad at me?" Like, "No, I'm not mad at you." It's like, "You're acting like you're mad at me for the last fucking time. I'm not mad at you." Whatever. And they go stop at a convenience store where the two remaining punks show up and start robbing the place. And what is it? The first thing happens is that Bud pulls out his gun. Then the security guard pulls out his gun. Duke and Debbie have their guns out, and then Duke shoots Bud in the side of the head, pretty bad.
No, I had it. I literally had it.
Might be dead.
Yeah. And then the security guard pulls out his gun. Duke shoots the security guard a couple of times, and then wait, hold on. How does it go?
The guy behind the counter.
Has a shotgun, but the security guard also shoots Duke in the chest. And then the guy behind the counter shoots the guy working the cashier, gets out a shotgun, shoots Duke, throws him across the room, and then Debbie shoots him, the cashier. And Otto goes over to him and he goes, "Are you doing all right, Duke?" And he's like, "I'm all right." He goes, "You know what I do? You know what I blame? Society made me the way I am." And Otto just goes, "No, dude, you're a suburban white kid." Like, you had endless opportunity. He goes, "Well, it still hurts though." And then he starts like gargling on his own blood, really loud. And then Otto just completely ditches Bud at the fucking station at the convenience store. When he gets back to the repo place, there's a bunch of government agencies inside, and the cop that works there is like, "You don't want to do this, man." And it's like, "What?" Like, "Let him do it. Like, just let him deal with it." And they're looking for the Chevy Malibu, which is gone now. We don't know where it is. I don't remember who even has it. Is it? Where is the Malibu at this point? It just kind of disappears and then reappears at the lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then Bud just has it.
Yeah, Bud just has it. He is risen. So yeah, there's the government agents like asking around, and there's the lady, the receptionist. I can't remember what her name is. It's
He's got bomb and apps. Going to A.
It's Marlene. Marlene and the Rodriguez brothers show up at the hospital. They go to talk to Bud, and then when while they're talking to Bud while he's like recovering in the hospital, Otto apologizes for leaving him at the convenience store, and then he apologizes for leaving him at the convenience store, and then there's suddenly a lot of noise, and people show up at the building and like, oh god, we gotta go to the car because they're trying to figure out where the car is because Bud took it, and
Yeah.
they go down to the parking garage, and the car is glowing green now, and they're trying to get it, and
It entered in the Mountain Dew code.
yeah, it's glowing green, and there's people chasing after it. They get shocked of electricity and like flat on their ass, and then they go back. They're like, quick, we gotta go. Oh, crap, we gotta go get Bud. And the government agents, they start. Okay, hold on. This movie is
you got it all mixed up.
we are really mixed up because the plot is deranged.
It's
We've
very
jumped to-
simple
we've jumped-
in the beginning, and then the last half hour becomes the most confusing disorderly fuck ever created by anyone ever.
And the Wikipedia article is not helping.
Do you think they know what's happening?
I don't think
not.
anyone knows what happens in this movie,
I'm
honestly.
not sure they watched the movie.
Let me pull up a clip of what I'm talking about real quick.
We should get a projector and get like a projector screen and then watch it while within it inside the Chevy.
Chevy Malibu.
Yeah, maybe that's how we'll fully grasp the movie finally. Come to understand it.
While the car gets more and more hot.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the
That's why I
film
get to keep the
actively.
car.
The film is like being inside the Chevy Malibu. The longer
just
it goes on, the
degrades your
more
mind.
you just
The
go
more you talk
insane.
about it, the more you lose your mind.
The more you drive, the dumber you
You
get.
The
just-
more
you
you
just-
watch
you
the
just-
movie.
You just evolve into just saying
Oh, yeah.
Chevy Malibu over and over
Chevy
again.
Malibu. Chevy Malibu.
Chevy Malibu.
Chevy Malibu.
Family.
Chevy Malibu.
Family.
Um,
Family.
But yeah, no, they have this.
Has a Black
Yeah.
Lotus USP? What?
They have this car chase. They have this car chase back to the lot. The Chevy Malibu's going green. There's a good line though, because Bud apparently has it now. Because they go up to go find him, and they're like, "It's like, where's Bud?" And the guy, he's watching the televangelist, and the guy goes,
Oh,
"He
come on.
is risen." But Otto gets like captured by the government. They torture him. They try and figure out where the Malibu is. He doesn't.
You'll never
doesn't
guess who
know.
did the
They know-
torture.
Yeah, it's
I thought you were
it's Layla.
earlier.
We talked about Layla. Layla does the torturing to him. She's like, they do like electric shock. It's like, where's the Malibu? And he goes, I don't know. Bud knows, and that's where they go back to the hospital to try and find Bud. And Bud has taken the Malibu. That's what happens. That's right. But there's a great line at the end of the movie where she starts telling him, "I'm glad I tortured you." So they get the Malibu. They track it back down to the impound lot, and the car is just sitting there glowing perfectly green now, and Bud is sitting inside of it, just staring
Not
forward
just
in
like
his hospital.
perfectly green.
Yeah, it is
neon fucking
neon
green.
It's glow in the dark paint. It's like
In
It's
other words,
really
it
cool,
is actually
too.
plutonium.
it's like actually like glow in the dark paint, just completely covered, like all over it. It's just neon green, like. You ever do like those Nerf guns with like the glow in the dark effect on them? Anyway, yeah, it's just sitting there like glowing in the parking lot, and it's making the loud sound.
It's got flubber. It's got flubber in it.
It's a flubber.
Flubber.
And he gets it there, and what is it? Otto goes up to Bud, and he goes, "Hey man, I think we should split the money 60-40. And he goes, "Who gets the 60? And he goes, "Well, I'm thinking since I found the car." And then Bud takes out a gun and points at him and goes, "You get the 60. And then a helicopter shows up from the government, and Bud just gets out of the car and starts taking pot shots at it with a pistol, and they gun him down. And the moment that he gets
Very brutally too. Like
yeah,
just
he gets
like,
riddled
cheese.
with holes, and he's dying on the floor. And Light shows up
Oh,
with a
fucking
pack
shit.
of pack of beers and goes, "Hey Light, he goes, "Hey Bud, how's it going? You want a beer?" He goes, "No, I'll have a cigarette." And Otto and Layla are
Nice.
tending to Bud as he's dying on the floor while smoking a cigarette. And the car, nobody is getting inside the car because nobody can. It gets either sets you on fire, electrocutes you if you get near it, and the
Only
televangelist
ones who are able
shows
to
up.
access the car.
No, not
are
the
So hold on.
televangelist.
Yeah, no, it's the televangelist.
Oh, sorry, it shows up. Sorry.
The televangelist shows up with a Bible with a bunch of rabbis, and they're not allowed in. And then Miller, the guy who's talking about how, flying saucers and alien spaceships, he's the only person allowed in. and he gets in
I
the
think
car
the best part is
wordlessly.
Doesn't one of the hazmat guys
One of the
walk
hazmat
up
guys
to him
catches
and
on fire.
instantly evaporated?
Yeah, and the entire time, also, while Miller is having this like religious experience, being allowed to walk towards the car, there's a government agent talking with a guy in a hazmat suit, explaining him the core concepts of Scientology.
Yeah. Well, I think
And
the
then-
best part is that the joke I remember making was this car. You're only allowed to drive this car if you are a repo man, and it recognizes you as such.
It's the Repo Man
Which
mobile.
is true.
Because Bud was in it. Yeah, you're only allowed in if you're a Repo Man. It's the Repo Mobile. And Miller gets inside the car and he wordlessly looks over at Otto and gestures for him to get in. And Otto, who's completely like confused at this moment, just immediately gets this massive grin on his face and starts getting up. And Landley goes, "What are you doing, Otto?" She's like, "What?" He's like, "What about our relationship?" He goes, "Fuck
I don't even get in
that."
the fucking. I don't even
And
get in
she
the
goes,
car.
"You asshole! You know what? I'm glad I tortured you, Otto." And he gets in the car and she starts like swearing at him. And then in an absolute like completely out of left field moment, the car begins to levitate. Meanwhile, the guy is still explaining the idea of Scientology to the hazmat guy, but the car just takes up straight up, right? And it takes up like 50 feet in the air, and then like light speed zooms away. It's like
It's VTOL.
it's
VTOL.
like the get back on the train ending of The Town of No Name.
Come back, Shane.
My name's not Shane, kid. But
The right, Connor.
the car just starts zooming around all of LA while Miller is sitting in the driver's seat and Otto's just looking around going, "Oh my god, this is awesome. This is intense."
Life of a repo man is always
Always
intense.
intense. And then they zoom off into the night sky. And that is the end of Repo Man. It goes from pretty cool, like almost crime movie, to just like, what the fuck is happening?
It
The
picks up
last-
real quick.
The last 30 minutes of the movie are incomprehensible and
I
impossible.
think the best
to
part
describe.
is that the last part of the movie was the part that I was probably the most awake for because I was trying to figure out what the fuck was happening.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
It's just been-
We
'cause I was
got
trying
to
figure
that
out-
part. We
I
got
was
to
trying
that
to figure out
part.
if this had been
Yeah.
happening the whole movie and I just haven't been paying attention because I was half asleep,
Like,
or if I'm just genuinely out of it this much.
it's not subtle by any means. None of the movie is subtle, but earlier on it's a lot more tame, and then it just gets crazier and crazier as it goes on. And it was around the moment that the car started glowing green that I stopped the movie and said, "This is going to be a really hard episode."
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we lost the plot a couple times while describing
We
it.
forgot the whole order of the scenes.
Because
Yeah, like
it's just like it just sticks.
Again,
I think
the
is one of
last
the reasons
30
why this
minutes
movie,
of the movie becomes a fucking eldritch horror to try and comprehend.
which is one of the reasons why I think this would probably want to be the greatest movies we cover on the podcast.
I think this is
Oh, yeah,
probably the
they're
best
definitely-
movie we've covered. Honestly.
Usually we have a great understanding of the movie, right? But this one is just so like
I think
It's
I don't know what
experience.
this one is
you
up
know
there.
what happened?
This movie is up there with Kung Fu Hustle. I think it's either this one or Kung Fu Hustle that are the best movies we've watched.
Fu
We'll
Hustle.
talk
I'd
about
argue
that
this
in our
one's
review.
better.
We'll talk about that in our review. Which one we think was better. And that's how Repo Man ends, and it just plays Iggy Pop over like that final scene. That final scene, I implore you, if you're one of the few people who actually listen to this podcast that aren't on it, which would probably be like Caleeb and maybe Kosher, please look up the final
100%
scene in
go-
this movie.
Or just go watch.
Go watch the whole movie, but also just watch the final scene if you have no time, because the final
think
scene
you
is
do it while you're drunk.
Do it while on as many beer as possible.
Yeah.
Do not while
Specifically
on as
beer
much
brand.
LSD as physically possible.
I think LSD would make the movie normal. I think it would like be a
That's
stack
the idea.
overflow.
Balances it
It'd be a-
out.
It's a stack overflow line. It defaults back to 0.
You need to do coke like a real repo man.
Yeah.
No,
The
speed like a real Repo Man.
Speed,
Come
sorry.
on, man.
Okay, so that was Repo Man.
The Repo Man.
I guess I'm starting with me because I'm the leftmost on the image. I liked Repo Man a fucking lot. I give 5 stars of my review, on Letterboxd. I don't even remember what I wrote. I remember. I think my thing was just like me, like because we got done with it like around midnight, and it was me just like half awake, just explaining how absurd the movie is. But it's a lot of fun. It's really funny. We watched it. I watched it twice with Keaton.
What is he
Funny part
doing?
is that actually happened twice. Was because you
He's
watched
waiting.
it again.
They
I
can't
you
just
watched
choose
it.
now.
You watched it again
Understand.
with me.
Yeah, Keaton and I got to
Keaton.
watch
I
Repo Man
apologize.
twice.
And we watched it till like 12 again because I had just got done moving
Yeah,
to Iowa.
it made no sense the whole time. Emilio Estevez either appears in really good movies or in really bad movies. There's no in between, and this is 100% one of his really good movies.
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez is in what the fuck? He's in he's in The Breakfast Club. He's in The Outsiders. He's in
The
He's in The Outsiders?
he's in The Outsiders.
What does he play?
Listen, dude, everyone is in The Outsiders.
Ah,
Ralph
fair enough.
Macchio, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise. Let's see who else. C. Thomas Howell, Matt Dillon, Tom Waits.
The Outsiders has been ruined for me, and I think you know why.
Nick Cage is also in this movie.
Did he actually?
Really?
Nick Cage is in The Outsiders. It's an uncredited role, but because it's a Coppola film, his dad made the movie, he's in it.
Huh.
And I believe that's right. Nick Cage is Francis Ford Coppola's son, I think.
Huh.
Is that right? Maybe I'm wrong. No,
clue?
father's August Coppola, which means that Francis Ford Coppola is his uncle.
Uncle?
Brunkle.
Yes.
Uncle, his brother.
Francis Ford Coppola is Nick Cage's uncle.
I had no idea.
Yeah, did you not know that?
Mm-mm.
He goes by Nick Cage so that way, because he wanted to make it out on his own. He didn't want like nepotism and shit to work for him.
Yeah.
Which
Isn't
I
it,
guess
John Hill and Stephen King are related.
Joe Hill is Stephen King,
Or
not
Joe
Joe
Hill.
Hill. Not is it Joe Hill?
I thought it was.
Yeah, it is Joe Hill.
Yeah,
I was
'cause
like-
the
Joe
thing is,
Hill
if
is-
his name was if his last name was King, you would have been Joe King.
Yeah, Joe Hill. Joe Hill is Stephen King's son, but because his middle name is Hillstrom. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night. But yeah, no. So I liked Repo Man a lot. It was really fun. I got to see it twice because Caleeb needed to be on the episode. We watched this episode and was like, Caleeb needs to be on this. At least he needs to see the movie.
I still had no clue what was going on. 'Cause
Well,
I was,
yeah,
like, half
but-
asleep.
I mean,
But
that's
still,
that's
I
gotta
possibly
watch it
the
the first
best way to
time.
watch
I
it.
was half asleep, and I could still recognize that I had no clue what was going on. Yet I was watching pure just medium mastery.
Yeah.
I was deeply
Um,
entertained.
I don't want to
Something was
watch.
happening.
I honestly don't want to watch anything else by Alex Cox, because apparently a lot of it's like mediocre at best. But this was I 100% get why this is considered one of the best movies of the '80s. It's really funny, like a lot of laugh out loud moments, and it wasn't like because we were talking over it, and making our own jokes. Like the movie itself,
No,
is
there's a
just
lot of just
really
holy shit
funny.
moments that were really good.
and it's not like it was absurd, like not like a holy shit moment like that made me laugh like Kung Fu Hustle did. Whereas like that's just really cool. It's really laughing. Like they're really really well done jokes. Like obviously, let's go get a drink is really good. The doing speed line is a really good joke. Like all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, Repo Man. Next on the line is Connor. What did you think of Repo Man?
Little rock girl wants to be my friend. I don't want to accept.
No, get Little Rock Girl in.
I don't want
Jesus.
to.
Ruby Bridges.
No, I'll explain to you in a moment. What did I think? I think it is. Here's where I'm.
Okay. Also, yeah, I think Repo Man was probably the best movie we've watched so far. I think it's a little better than
may have
Kung Fu
gave up for it.
Hustle.
Here's where my confliction and conviction lie. That is probably not a movie I would just elect to watch alone.
Yep.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a really good movie, but I genuinely am of the belief that the biggest highlight was being on the phone with you lot, so that everyone simultaneously was going, "What the fuck is happening?" Because
This was
It was
Keaton's choice.
funny.
I don't know if anybody actually had watched this outside
No,
of Keaton.
nobody had watched. No, Keaton
I'd
hadn't even
never
watched
seen
it
it
either.
before.
No, yeah,
Oh,
nobody.
It was
had
a
ever-
blind
just
poll.
raw. Oh my
But
god.
like I'd never heard of the film. I wasn't particularly interested. I genuinely thought this would just be a movie about what it's like to be a repo man, much like how Duel was just a movie about a duel. And it wasn't. So I was pleasantly surprised, but
Well, okay.
by our grading system, have to give it a 3 out of 5 because I would watch it with friends, but probably not alone.
Okay. I honestly though, I kept making the older joke. Do you think it was better than Kung Fu Hustle?
No.
Okay.
I'd watch Kung Fu Hustle again alone.
There you
The
go.
Buddhist palm technique is something I will strive to master.
I liked what am I trying to say? I liked I had
Sorry,
something
Keaton,
funny
what
to
kind of
say and then I lost it. No, yeah, no. Keaton had
He's
never
falling
seen this
apart.
movie before. I kept making jokes when the game Repo, right? And I go, I want the Repo Man video game, and now I genuinely actually want the Repo Man video game.
It's gonna be like
Make it like
Sub
yeah,
right?
Soap
with the
Rosa,
three
but you
different
have
groups.
yeah, 3 different groups. They all have to get the Chevy Malibu. We could just do that in Sub Rosa.
I imagine you
plan.
could probably mod it that way.
We get the
Which
Chevy
I'd be
Malibu.
down if we can get the people for
Sub
it. I'd be
Rosa
so
is
down.
the Repo Man video game. All right, Keaton, what did you think?
I'm glad I picked this movie. 'Cause I had no idea, like, I didn't really have any expectations for what it was going to be like. I just knew it looked like a fun movie, and it was. It was pure 80s goofy schlock, and I love it. I mean,
Like, I love you.
thank you. I love you
Well,
too.
Hell yeah. Let's
Whoa.
consummate our relationship
Whoa. Okay.
right now in the podcast.
None of this is getting
But yeah,
censored.
good movie. Good movie.
Which one do you think was better? Kung Fu Hustle or
I think both were fantastic movies, but I feel like Repo Man was just kind of more my thing. I think I don't know. Kung Fu Hustle is great because it's just completely unhinged, completely bizarre. But Repo Man it's kind of a grounded kind of absurdism.
yeah, I guess.
I guess I don't know.
I think Repo Man like it's grounded and that's what makes it more crazy. Is that like
Yeah.
anything can happen in Kung Fu Hustle and Repo Man is like there's regular people reacting to the absurd stuff. All right. Spoid, what did you think of Repo Man?
I'd give it a 4. It's definitely one of those movies where if I'm alone at home and I'm just like I'm really bored and I want something to watch, I'd watch it, and I'd watch it even more if I was with a group of friends. I wouldn't place it higher than Kung Fu Hustle just because I much preferred Kung Fu Hustle. I preferred the style and shit.
Yep.
But I still really love Repo and it was awesome.
And Caleeb.
It was a solid ass movie. I found myself laughing a lot, but by God, I had no clue what the fuck was going on. So it does devalue it slightly to a 4 out of 5.
Which one did you prefer? Do you think it's the best we've watched so far?
It's up there, but Hustle was just Hustle's Hustle, man.
Hustle was Hustle.
I-
That's fair.
Hustle was Hustle.
And then,
Which is why we'll be watching Shaolin Soccer next if I'm elected president.
well,
Fuck you.
is it time for the election?
I think
I
it's time for the election.
suppose.
Let's go with the election.
Put Keto's brother in. Put Keto's brother in. He can pick our
He doesn't
movie
even.
since you
Imagine
technically
he
watched it.
he doesn't show up to his own movie.
I'll go ask him.
He didn't
if
show up to
you-
the
if he gets
podcast
picked.
though. He didn't show up to the podcast though.
Put him in. Anyway.
Fair
He can
enough.
choose for us.
All right, ready to see who won the electoral college vote?
Yeah, who was
Same way
it?
they picked the Pope.
It's Keaton again.
You can pick Human Centipede. Or give it
Oh.
away. You
Please
don't have to go
don't.
again if you
Um,
don't want to.
I
We're
will
gonna watch
not be doing
Flubber.
God
it.
damn it.
Yeah.
Are we actually watching Flubber?
No.
Dude, I'm so
Okay.
da-
Who wants it? I don't. Who hasn't
I'll take it.
gone in the
Dibs.
longest time?
I've
Uh,
never
I-
gone.
Yeah,
you
he
ha-
hasn't. I don't think so.
Do not
Has
let
Connor
him.
never gone?
Can I trust
I
I don't
you?
know.
With,
I have never gone.
No.
Can we trust
cannot
you?
trust Connor.
Of course you can trust me.
okay,
When have I
I'm,
ever done anything untrustworthy in my entire life?
I'm
I can
entrusting
recall
you to the right to
numerous
pick
times
the
you have
next
lied to
movie.
Jack.
What was that? I couldn't hear you over Caleeb talking about
Pick
how
the
I
movie,
convinced.
damn it.
Ghost in the Shell.
All right,
Okay.
we're watching Ghost
Like
in the
the
Shell.
live
The
action.
No, the
Anime.
anime, not the live
Okay,
action.
good.
Are you watching it because, or did you pick it because of Finding Paradise?
No, I
Okay.
picked it because I realized due to Finding Paradise that I really enjoyed that movie as a kid and I want to rewatch it.
Why did you
And I
watch
don't have the
Ghost in the Shell as a kid?
Jay goes hard on the motherfucking pain.
That makes a lot of sense, honestly. Joe does seem like the kind of guy who would fuck with Ghost in the Shell.
Joe Jay.
Jay, whatever. I'm tired.
Known the man for so long now.
I've known the man for 3 years.
Um,
Not as long as I've known Joe, though, so he takes precedence.
it's true. And Joe's pretty fucking sick.
All right.
Well,
So next time we'll be watching Ghost in the Shell. That'll have to come out in June because I will not be in Oklahoma or anywhere I'll be able to record for the rest of the month.
Hey, I'm not gonna be in Oklahoma for the entire summer, but I'm
It's
still
true.
here.
Well, no, I won't
I'm
be
not
able
gonna
to
be in
record.
Oklahoma.
I won't
Probably
be able to
wouldn't.
let's watch it
record.
right now
Oh God!
since we're all here.
I won't
Actually,
be able to.
I have to get in bed. I have to drive to Kansas.
Yeah, I won't be able
tomorrow.
to record for the rest of the month, so we're gonna have to watch that in June, which was the plan anyway. But that'll probably be sometime in the middle of June. We'll watch it. Thank you to me for going back and re-listening to this after like 20 years of nothing. What's our outro? Play me off, Johnny.
Let's go get a drink.
Let's go get a drink.
Take me out to the
the
bar.
I can't let you go.
ball game.